Thank you, Ben. I do this every week, usually.
The Ranger Report. Yeah, the Ranger Report. You want the inside scoop? Listen to the Ranger Report. Oh, here we go.
This is the Ranger Report podcast. News, insights, predictions, interviews, and information about the Texas Rangers from the major leagues to the minor leagues. And now, here are your hosts, Ben Dieter and CJ Berryman.
All right, everybody, welcome to the Ranger Report podcast. I am Ben Dieter. You can find me on Twitter at BDieter75.
I am CJ Berryman. You can find me at CJB_RR on the Twit box.
And I am Tyler Nilsson, and you can find me on Twitter at TPN1983.
There you go. And we are, of course, brought to you on the Preferred Health Solutions online studio on the Fans First Sports Network. Of course, a part of Dallas Sports Nation, and also Walton's Everything But the Meat. We love Walton's here on this show always. I used it tonight, as a matter of fact, in the dinner I made. So nice. Walton's is always in everything that I cook. If I cook it, it's got Walton seasoning in it. So
I made another burger the other night.
Yeah,
with the better burger seasoning.
That stuff's so good, man. So good.
So good.
Anyway, it's been a slow week in Rangers news, but we thought we'd go ahead and drop a podcast anyway. I mean, nothing at all has happened. I mean, nobody new started the game on Thursday afternoon. We're recording this on Thursday night, right, CJ?
Nope. I was at the doctor, so.
Yeah, you missed part of it.
I missed part of it. Yeah.
So Tyler, were you worried after one inning?
Not at all. I knew Mad Max. There's a reason they call him Mad Max for a reason. And,
yeah,
it's always your first time. I mean, once you get traded, it's always, you're going to have those butterflies, regardless of how long you've been in the league. It's just part of the game.
He was a little lamped up. Yeah.
He's never pitched there in that stadium. I mean, he does it trying to get in his surroundings, and he came out and showed the guy, obviously, that we wanted, that we acquired. So it's going to work out. I know it is.
Hey, CJ, yeah, so you missed part of it at the doctor, but you saw the line. I mean, 9 strikeouts, 6 innings. After throwing 37 pitches in the first inning, he wound up going 6.
Well, it was kind of the line that the last 2 pitchers have had in the first 2 games in the series. Andrew Heaney had an awesome start. Dane Dunning was amazing.
Yep.
Me and Tyler were talking about it. His slider was untouchable. So to see the pitching come through in that kind of way at this time when the Rangers need it, when the Astros are bearing down our ass, it was awesome. Yes.
So today for me, Scherzer, I mean, to say I was worried during the first, I wasn't. I thought back, like you guys said, to Cliff Lee. He gave up 7 runs, but pitched a complete game and lost that game 7-0. And lots of fans then were freaking out too.
And didn't even throw 100 pitches.
Didn't even throw 100 pitches in that game. But Scherzer, too many pitches. I'm sure. I mean, he talked about that after the game that, he was amped up and he threw way too many pitches in that first inning. But man, I mean, after that, if he pitches like he did after that, I mean, even half of that the rest of the season, I mean, he gave up no runs, struck out 9 guys, and just like Dunning, his slider and his curveball were just nasty.
And his 2-seamer is just disgusting.
It is.
Tyler can talk about this. That 2-seamer, that's the way he sets things up. And then he goes from there.
Yeah, that's a great point. Yeah, that's his go-to pitch, and once he gets that dialed in and gets it going, it's pretty much unhittable. And you look at a lot of the hits that happened in the first 2 innings. They were soft hits. It wasn't like he was giving up these major hits, but they were just finding the right spots. And unfortunately for him, it allowed those runs to cross the plate. But as we all know, if you watch the game, he definitely finally settled in, got comfortable, and realized, I'm here to pitch baseball, play baseball, and he settled down real nicely.
Yeah, I was at the doctor, and I was like, they had the TV on, and I'm like, okay, let's get this to the Ranger game. Come on now. I missed a few innings.
I'll be honest. After that first inning, I thought 4. He'd go 4. And the fact that he was able to make it 6, like I thought he was going to pitch good the rest of the game, but I thought that he wasn't going to be able to make, 6 innings. And then when he got into the 5th, I thought, uh-oh. And he got through that with 10 pitches. I was like, okay, he can come back out for the 6th. So,
well, yeah, his pitch count was at 57 pitches after 2 innings?
Correct. Yeah. 57 after 2 innings.
And I was like, yeah, this is looking like a very short outing. We're probably going to have to dig into our bullpen pretty early today. But luckily, he turned that around.
Yeah. So, when you trade for a guy like him, though, it's not, we've talked about this before. It's not for the regular season. It's for the postseason. That's why we have Max Scherzer. And, the fact that if he, like I said, he goes tomorrow. We'll talk about that later.
Yeah. Me and Ben were talking about this yesterday. Like, they might be going actually to a 6-man rotation for the rest of the year to save the arms. For the postseason.
Well, and you look at the way Dane Dunning is pitching. I don't know that you want to move him out of the rotation right now.
I wouldn't. But
I guess let's move back to that game. Dane Dunning, yet last night was, like you said, just nasty, and his slider was completely unhittable. I joked with you. I texted you what Dane Cup to Dunning. Like he's Jacob deGrom reborn. Because man, he 11 strikeouts. He just looked like he was in total control of that game. And just like Scherzer, he had a bad first inning, and then just shut him down after that. And then, of course, like he did the last time, he almost threw a complete game. He gave up that home run on his last pitch of the game.
Yeah, and me and Tyler talked about it a little bit too. That's an awesome feeling when you go up there, you're on the mound, and they're having to try to surprise bunt on you because they know they're screwed. And
well, the thing that got me is even in the field last night. You and I talked about this, CJ, too. And you can attest to this, too. You watched, Tyler. The White Sox look completely disinterested in being in that game.
Yeah.
They look completely disinterested in being in the entire series.
But last night was really bad. Like, they could have turned a double play in the 3rd inning, but it's like they didn't even know how many. They didn't even know how many outs.
They didn't know how many outs there were.
Was it Mercado at 3rd that made the play?
Yeah.
I was like, what are you doing? But
when he slowly pumped, and I was like, dude, what are you doing?
Step on 3rd and throw to 1st.
That was an easy double play.
And you saw Dylan Cease look over at him like, man, are you kidding me? Like, he could have made a play at home plate. He could have gone to home and got Josh Young.
Yeah.
So then Dylan Cease is like, I got to throw a million more pitches because the Rangers are making me work. That's what's impressive, too, is the Rangers batting order now is so patient.
Yeah.
And they make guys work.
Yeah.
Yep.
Tyler, you agree? Adolis Garcia.
Oh, absolutely.
Completely different ball player this year with patience.
Cease was up to 100 pitches with he threw an inning and 2/3. That just shows you the plate discipline right there. They were taking pitches, but they were also giving it back to him as well. When they were locating everything off the batters, they were on top of the ball. So, and it was good to see.
Yeah.
Yep.
Yeah, and I'll tell you what, I wanted to mention this. We'll talk about game 1 after this. I want to talk about this first, but did anyone notice what happened to the offense the minute Corey Seager was inserted back into it?
Well, Tyler made the call. Tyler made the call.
Yeah. I did. I made the call last night.
That's right.
He was going to hit a home run in his very first at bat, and he did.
Dude, and that wasn't a cheap one either.
No, it wasn't. And that's another, they talk about it, and, they were talking about it last night, but it's the truth. Once Corey Seager is in that lineup, it seems that everybody else around him seems to play at a higher level. And that's what he brings to this ball club. And you could see that last night in his first game back. And I was like, yep, he's back.
Yep. Him and me and Ben were talking about it last night. Semien too. Marcus Semien.
Absolutely.
Brings that same, to me, what we were talking about last night, Ben, was Marcus Semien is like Michael Young.
Yep.
Corey Seager, Josh Hamilton.
Yep.
That's a good point.
Yeah, they're the two. They're the two that spark everything.
Yep.
And you're right, because when Seager's in there, Semien sees better pitches. Nate Lowe sees better pitches. Adolis Garcia sees better pitches. Because you can't. Where do you take a break in that lineup? 1 through 7, really. Where do you take a break?
I made my call last night with Tyler with Nate Lowe, and what? Yeah. He got an RBI single, so I was cool with it. It's fine.
I made one today with Adolis Garcia, and he got an RBI single, so I felt okay. I felt okay with it.
CJ was trying to cheat the game last night. He was asking if he could get a second call, and I was like, it doesn't work that way, dude. Because he was going to make it with Josh Young. And Josh Young,
and then he homered.
Sorry, though. You can only make one, man.
Tyler was like, nope.
I was like, no, that's not how this game works, TJ.
Tyler was correct. You only get one.
You get one call.
And I despise when that happens, when I make a second one in my head and it's right. I'm like, dang it, I should have saved it for that one.
I think that's only my second or third call I've gotten right all year, but I'll take it. Better than none.
Definitely. But yeah, that offense, the way they got to Cease was incredible. I actually felt bad for Cease by the time he got pulled out in the second inning. I mean,
he looked tired.
Well, and he was. I mean, the umpiring wasn't great. He was getting squeezed a little bit last night.
He did get squeezed a couple times,
but if he put it anywhere over the plate, they were nailing it. Or like you said, they were just fouling it until they saw what they wanted.
Yep,
it was incredible. It was incredible.
CJ, we were texting back and forth during the game last night, and he made a really good point. He was like, this is a time right now to get on top of Dylan Cease. I mean, they have him, get him out early because you know what? Cease is a great pitcher. He's good.
Oh, yeah.
And you want to get him out of that ball game and get to the bullpen. And the Rangers did. They were very patient and, took the pitches they needed to, and a lot of foul balls, but a lot of great hits. So it all worked out great for the Rangers.
Hey, our new segment at the end, What the Tweet. This one didn't even make the segment, but someone last night said, and we wanted this guy to come to our team after he did that,
Yeah.
Talk about Dylan Cease. Yeah.
Come on now.
Well, I love Twitter. I love Twitter baseball fans.
I guarantee it. Any MLB team would take a Dylan Cease.
Oh, I take him in a heartbeat. Yeah.
That's who we talked about. We mentioned a few times on the podcast that we might go trade for.
Yeah. Cease was one that was definitely on everyone's radar.
Well, last week. Oh, sorry, Ben.
No, go ahead.
Well, I was saying last week, me and Ben, I don't know if you saw the podcast, CJ, but me and Ben were talking about maybe possibly getting Marcus Stroman. Well, that looked like it turned out to be a good idea because not acquiring him, because I think he ended up on the IL.
Yep.
So, but
yeah, that's good.
Yep.
No, anyways, speaking of trades, I saw today. I don't know if you saw, CJ. Did you see Cole Reagan's line?
I did not.
7 innings, 1 hit, no runs.
That's Tyler's dude.
That's my dude, man.
Tyler's first interview.
Yep. And 7 innings, 1 hit, no runs.
And we are rooting for him, just like we are Mason.
Oh, absolutely.
Well, I saw
absolutely.
Yeah.
He's still with the Royals, right?
He's what?
He's with the Royals, right?
Yeah, he's with the Royals.
Yeah, we traded him to the Royals.
Okay.
But it was Tepid that tweeted that.
For Aroldis Chapman.
Yeah, Tep tweeted that. So
yeah.
His line. So that was really, really good. Good to see for Cole Reagans. Yes,
great for Cole. I texted him earlier today. He said thank you. Yeah. He's good dude. Texted TK Roby the other day as
another
well.
Good dude. Yep.
And we wish him the best of luck.
But the Rangers need to quit shipping off all the guys whose numbers we have.
I know. That's what I texted Ben. I was like, dude, I'm losing prospects. Whose numbers I have.
Yeah, we're losing our guys.
But we expected it. We talked about it earlier in the year. We're going to lose guys that we have an affinity for and a familiarity with, and that we love, and sure enough, I mean, yeah.
All right, let's look back to game 1. And I think the Rangers have a good problem right now. And we kind of mentioned it a little bit, but I think both Andrew Heaney and Dane Dunning said, hey, I don't want to leave the rotation. And they both pitched like the guys that you wanted to see them pitch when the season started. And, Perez was just the odd man out. He didn't get a chance to show what he could do one more time before they moved him to the bullpen. They've already put him in the bullpen. So Perez moves to the bullpen. And right now they haven't said anything about Heaney or Dunning. And after the last 2 games, you want this to happen. Is the Rangers have a problem? Is how do you put one of those guys? How do you take him out of the rotation?
Well, it's a great problem to have. And if you have to move Perez to the bullpen, that means that the rest of your rotation is kicking ass.
Yeah,
and because Perez last year was arguably our best pitcher.
Yep.
And if he's got to go to the bullpen,
And unless you do
the other night when he was pitching, I texted Tyler about this too. He wasn't necessarily doing anything wrong.
No.
They were just making decent contact on all of his pitches. He was making good location pitches. He was hitting his marks and all that kind of stuff, throwing off speed, changeup, slider, and they were just making contact with it. So maybe I don't know. Maybe moving him to the bullpen will be a good move, but we'll see how that plays out. But it's a good problem to have, Tyler.
I think that's well said. I mean, I couldn't have said it any better. It's a great problem to have. I mean, I think the bullpen, moving him to the bullpen will wholly help him out. I mean, he hasn't had the greatest year, but it hasn't been terrible by any means.
No.
So, and if there's an injury in the rotation, he can always be called back in to fill that spot. So it's a great problem to have. I was trying to figure out, the first 2 games of that series. When was the last time back-to-back starting pitchers for the Rangers threw 11 Ks in one game?
Yeah.
And I tried to do some research on it last night. I couldn't find anything on it. So if y'all have anything to say about it, let me know.
No, I don't know when the last time that's happened.
I don't know when the last time that happened, dude.
Yeah.
You're right. You're right.
I did all kinds of Googling on that last night, but I was like, yep, this is a waste of cause because I couldn't find anything.
Yeah, but unless you go to a 6-man rotation, either Heaney or Dunning is going to have to also move to the bullpen. So it's just, to me, that's just kind of weird. Like, which one do you take out? I mean, like you said, almost identical lines. They both threw 11 strikeouts. They both gave up. I don't think Heaney didn't give up a run, and Dunning gave up 1. So, I mean, it's like, who do you move?
I mean, the only thing about that is if you move Heaney over Dunning to the bullpen, you'll have 2 lefties out there with Martin Perez and Heaney.
And that's why I think Dunning's going.
You'll have a righty and a lefty with Dunning.
And Dunning was in the bullpen to start the year too.
Correct.
Which is another reason I think
that's also a good problem to have because he's adaptive. He can jump right into the rotation and be fine if an injury were to happen.
Well, and CJ, like you said, I mean, I could see the Rangers going with a 6-man rotation and leaving both of those guys in there to get, to get Eovaldi rest, to get John Gray rest, to get, Scherzer some rest going into the playoffs. I could see them going to a 6-man rotation.
I could totally see it, but Chris Young was pretty. By the way, Chris Young, me and Tyler were talking about this. Love him.
Yeah, he's. I mean,
love him.
And I wasn't a John Daniels hater, that, but Chris Young has definitely put together. I mean, and the 2010-11 teams were fantastic, but I still think overall, when this team's healthy, they're better than the 2010-2011 Rangers.
I think so, Tyler.
I agree. Yeah, see why he's like I said, he should be in jail right now for all the robbery he committed during the trade deadline.
I agree.
To get Max Scherzer, and you look at it and you're like, well, surely you got to give up more than just Acuna. And then you look at it and you're like, nope, that's pretty much what he gave up.
And they paid.
They're paying most of his contract.
And they're paying most of his contract. So, it's like, how do you talk a team into that? Like, oh, by the way, can you pay for him too? And they're like, yeah, whatever.
Yeah, that's fine. We'll throw that in there too.
Yeah, we'll pay for him too.
Yeah.
I mean, in all fairness, the Rangers did it for 10 years with A-Rod, so.
True.
That's true.
We've been on the wrong side of that too.
But it's good to be on the right side.
It's good to be on the right side. But yeah, Chris, I mean, if you look at the rankings out there, most people have the Rangers as the number 1 winner in the trade deadline this year.
Oh, absolutely. Yeah. There's no reason why not,
And the Astros actually said they went after Verlander because the Rangers got Scherzer. So the Rangers forced the Astros' hand. The Astros had to get rid of their number 1 prospect to bring back a guy they could have just kept at the end of last season.
Yep.
They got rid of their number 1 and their number 2 prospect, didn't they?
Correct. Yeah, correct.
Yep.
I thought it would have been hilarious if the Rangers at the last moment would have scooped in and grabbed Verlander too, and the Astros are sitting there going, "What is going on? This is ridiculous." But I was like, because before we even got Scherzer, that's the only name you were hearing for the Rangers was Verlander coming to Texas. And I was like, okay. And then that following day, it started blowing up with all these Scherzer's rumors. And I was like, okay, sounds pretty like something really is going on here. And my phone was blowing up with notifications, and a couple of my buddies were texting me, how true are these Scherzer things? And I was like,
me and Tyler are going back and forth
all day. And then we're like, now we're hearing the deal's off. And then it's back on. And we're like, what is going on with this thing?
That was a crazy day, man. It really was. Especially,
that was me and Ben blowing up our phones.
Yep.
Texting Levi Weaver and John Moore and Chris Halleck,
Jeff Wilson. We were talking to all of them, and they were saying the same thing.
And they're
saying the same thing we are. We've heard the same thing. It's not going to go through now. And then 5 minutes later, he goes, "Wait, it might go through."
Well, I was texting Ben and I was texting you, CJ. I was like, "Do y'all know anything? What's going on? Help me out. Try to figure this thing out." But
Levi just straight up went like this.
Yeah, that's really all we could do at that point.
Right.
But hey, once again, see why I did so good at this trade deadline, and I mean. And really, by getting those starters, you think if you put Dunning and Perez in the bullpen, you've also strengthened the bullpen because you've got two really good arms that are now in the bullpen that were starters.
And we got to see Stratton the other night too,
and he looked good.
He looked good.
And dude, we haven't said it, but what about pitch framing, man?
Oh, yes.
Good gracious. Just in that one inning, watching him frame those pitches in his Pittsburgh catching gear, which was hilarious.
Oh, that was so weird to see that yellow on a Ranger uniform. I was like, yeah, I guess he didn't make it. I guess his gear didn't make it to the ballpark in time.
Someone tweeted something hilarious. They said, I bet someone in Pittsburgh in the equipment room right now is looking for that stuff.
Yeah, it looked weird with all that yellow. I was like, yeah, looks kind of funny.
Watching him frame those pitches, CJ. I mean, that was baseball porn, basically.
Yeah, and somebody tweeted me. I can't remember who it was, and I was like, the only person that's better at framing pitches is the guy that we have on the IL, Jonah Heim.
I think they're neck and neck, man. Both of them are so good at it.
Well, and that's why they didn't acquire Hedges for his bat by any means. They acquired him for his catching ability. He's ranked as one of the top defenders in the game.
Yep.
And I thought the Rangers at the trade deadline would add another bat, but it wasn't the bat we were looking for. But he's a good, solid backup to have. Especially with Jonah Heim, being on the IL. But I guess yesterday Jonah Heim kind of got some good news from what I'm reading. So hopefully
he did.
Yes.
He did.
That stays positive.
We were thinking he might be out for the year.
Yeah, but apparently when he comes back, he can only bat left-handed, but he can come back. So,
but what I'm more concerned about though is Evaldi, because they're not saying a bunch about Evaldi.
No, they're not saying a lot at all.
They're kind of keeping it hush-hush, and that kind of worries me. And they were kind of doing the same things with DeGrom, and I'm hoping it's not anything like that. But pushing back these starts over and over is starting to get a little worrisome. But by adding these two, by adding Montgomery and by having, of course, Scherzer, and you still have a really, really good rotation.
Yeah, I mean, the rotation's better right now, even without Evaldi in it. You insert Evaldi back into it. If John Gray can, now that he's not hurting, if he can pitch like he did, at the beginning of the year or in the middle of the season when he was doing so well again, I mean, you've got an amazing rotation going on.
Well, hell, he pitched two complete games.
Yeah.
Giving up only one run and
lost both of them. Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah. Yeah. We know what John Gray can do when he's on, man. He's incredible. Yeah. So now we haven't seen Montgomery pitch yet. We'll see that tomorrow night. So let's look ahead a little bit to tomorrow night. So Montgomery, again, his ERA is not too bad. It's in the 4s. He has a losing record, but he was pitching for, the Cardinals, who are not having a good season at all. I really look forward to seeing, and I'll start with you, Tyler. I really look forward to seeing what Montgomery is going to bring tomorrow night.
Oh, I'm looking forward to it too. And I think, a change of scenery, being on and especially being in playoff contention.
Yeah.
The Cardinals were they've just had a terrible year. Let's just be honest about it. Yep. And hopefully being around this being in the clubhouse, a winning atmosphere clubhouse, he'll fit right in. And I think he'll see that his players are going to get him runs and just go out there and pitch your game, because he's had a good season.
Yeah.
By his standards, he has had a really good season. So hopefully that continues for us and throughout the postseason.
Well, and if you saw the other night, they showed him and Scherzer next to each other, and they're just having fun in the dugout. They're just having fun cutting up with the guys. And
I would be too if I went from the Mets and the Cardinals over to the Texas Rangers.
Anytime you go from last to first, it's usually a pretty good feeling. First of all, someone wanted you, and second of all, now you're in a pennant race instead of just wasting your summer trying to get to the next season.
Exactly.
Like the Rangers have done for the last 6 years before this one.
Yeah. This is a fun time to be a Rangers fan, and covering the Rangers is fun. Speaking
of being a Rangers fan, just a quick tease. At the end we'll do our what the tweet again, or I guess what do I call it now? What the X? I don't know what to call it. I still call it Twitter. I don't know what to call it. I've already called it that, so I'm going to stick with what the tweet. But anyway,
just go with the twit box.
We've got some good Rangers fans that I'll highlight at the end of the episode.
Yeah, it was so weird. I got on my phone. I guess after they changed the symbol or whatever, did they change the name of Twitter, or is it still Twitter?
Yeah, it's just called X.
Yeah, because I got on there and it's on my, from my home screen.
Yeah.
And I looked, I saw this X symbol, and I was like, what is on my home screen? So I clicked it.
You're like, oh God, it's porn. No.
Yeah, I was like, what is this? And I clicked it and it took me to Twitter. So I was like,
yeah,
okay, this is really weird, but now I know. Thanks for clearing that up for me.
Yeah, I haven't updated yet because I still like the white bird on the blue background, so I've kept it. I'm going to keep it as long as I can.
Nope, they're calling it X now.
I didn't know that.
Well, we all know Elon Musk isn't maybe 100% right in the brain, so.
Well, that's fact. He's also got a whole lot more money than we do.
Yeah. If you put everything that we've made in our whole life, if you put everything that the three of us made in our whole lives together into a bucket, he would use it to wipe his butt. That would be because it wouldn't mean anything to him.
That's exactly right.
Wouldn't mean anything to him whatsoever. So,
no.
All right, so the Rangers now have the Marlins coming up in the next 3 games. They got Gray going on Saturday, coming back off of being hurt, but not going on the IL. So it ought to be a pretty interesting, and then Heaney's going on Sunday. So it ought to be a pretty interesting series coming up between the Rangers need to keep the good times rolling because the Marlins aren't very good either, but they do have good pitching, CJ.
They do. And I'm pulling up their stuff now.
Yeah, they do have good pitching.
So we're going to have Montgomery going against Luzardo.
Yep.
Tomorrow, who's really good.
Really good.
Really, really, really good. Montgomery's got a 3.42 ERA. Luzardo, 3.38. John Gray is scheduled to go on Saturday. Marlins,
they don't have a pitcher listed yet. Yeah, it's a TBD. Yeah,
TBD. And then Heaney against Alcantara on Sunday. So I think, you feel good about that if you're the Rangers.
Yeah.
You really do. And again, it's an awesome feeling to have a starting rotation that is going to give you good chances, good odds to win every single night, every single day. So the way it looks, obviously the Rangers, we're setting the record right now in runs scored, 10-run games. And so you have good confidence that we could possibly, me and Ben have talked about this before. Take 2 or 3 from every series. Take 2 or 3 and call it a win.
Well, and Marcus Semien has a chance to break the record for RBIs for a leadoff hitter.
Yep, and runs scored.
For a leadoff hitter. Because
what is the record?
I'll have to look it up. I can't remember. But he's
at
like 6. Yeah, he's like at 67 right now, which
he's
is
on
incredible.
Pace to be 100.
Yeah. And I don't know what I'll have to look up. That's a good question. I should have looked up what the record was, but they said he's on pace to possibly beat it. So of course he'd have to have a really, really good rest of the season to beat it. But look at the way he's playing. He could have a really, really good rest of the season. The way he's
playing right now, yeah.
I wouldn't put it past him.
No, I would not either. All right, so that's going to be a great series coming up for the Rangers. So we have not done a minor league edition in a while. We're not going to talk about it tonight, but CJ and I are going to get back to that. We've just been busy, and with all the trade stuff going on, it's been crazy. So we've got lots to talk about in the minor leagues.
Lots to talk about in the minors.
I will mention one thing. Wyatt Langford already got promoted to High A Hickory, and he hit a triple in his first at bat last night.
JP Martinez is still tearing it up, dude.
Yeah.
He is still tearing it up.
We will get back to that. We just haven't done it because of scheduling and just so much going on in the major leagues that we've been hitting that hard. So anyway, don't think we forgot about it out there, Chev. We still remember the minor league podcast.
Oh no. Yeah. We're on it, Chev.
We're on it. All right. So let's move to our last, anything else about the Rangers right now that I forgot?
Will Smith.
Thank you. Thank you very much. Will Smith. Let's talk about Will Smith. And God, I got to say, I love Jared Sandler for all the stats that he just throws out there, like on Twitter. Like he
what he put out today was shocking to me, to be honest.
All right, so let me read it. This is from Jared Sandler a couple hours ago on Twitter. So Will Smith has converted 15 of his last 16 save chances and has been dominant during that stretch. 15.1 innings pitched, a 1.17 ERA, a 0.59 whip, 18 strikeouts, 1 walk, and a 148 batting average against him. I mean, people say Will Smith isn't a closer. That's closer stuff right there.
That's closer stuff.
Bruce Bochy, whenever we got Chapman, I was like, okay, there's our closer. Bruce Bochy said, bullshit.
I mean, his whip for the year is 0.83. That's for the whole year.
And this is a guy that we thought was just a afterthought.
Yeah. We didn't know if he was going to make the team out of spring training.
No, we had no idea.
Yeah. We talked about that. Like I remember, I think we both said because of his veteran presence, Bochy would probably want him on the team, but he may not be here long. Well, he proved them wrong on that one.
We were wrong.
Yeah. I mean, having Chapman and Smith, you know, if you got the lead going into the 8th and the 9th, you feel pretty damn good about your odds of winning that game because they're pretty much shutout guys. And you've seen that with them too, with Adolis coming in the 8th, or coming into the 8th, and then Will Smith cleaning it up.
Dude, he hit 101 with a 2-seam fastball the other day that I thought was just freaking robbery. Like, that's not fair.
So I was looking up his fastest pitches of all time, and remember when he threw 103, 106.
106
all time, his fastest all time.
All time was 106.7.
That was okay. So that was back in.
I can't remember who he was playing for, but it was during his younger days.
Yeah. He was humming it, and
the whole was pretty much filled with Chapman and Nolan Ryan.
Yeah.
Yes, exactly. That's what I was about to say. Yeah. They compared him to Nolan Ryan and the stuff that he was doing.
Well, the thing is, I mean,
speed-wise,
think about the fact if you're the opposing team and you're down by 1 run after 7 innings, and you know that the next inning you're going to have to face a Aroldis Chapman, and then you're going to have to face a guy who has, you know, a 0.4 or 0.29 whip over the last 6 weeks. You know, like where you got no chance.
No, you're done.
And I like Sports coming in the 7th. You know, he's done a very nice job all season.
That's another one. When
he's been there's always one big surprise in the bullpen when a team turns out to be way better than expected. And I'd have to say this year that Josh Sborz has been that guy.
Well, and it's a guy we talked about that has all the talent in the world.
Yep.
He just had no command.
Yep.
And now he's put that together, and he's almost unhittable. You know, coming out of the bullpen. So
and he looks so goofy, man, smacking on that gum, but he's so good at what he does.
And I'll tell you one more guy out of the bullpen that's really calmed down and his command's a lot better is Jose Leclerc.
Yep.
He's looked a lot better.
Oh, we were hating on there. I was hating on him.
Tyler, you're right, because I've noticed that I've been less and less nervous each time he comes out now.
Because when he would come in, I was like, oh no.
Yeah, exactly.
Here we go again. And then he would 4 straight pitches right off the bat, get a leadoff man on. I'm like, what are we doing?
If you can get the old Jose Leclerc and last year's Brock Burke back, this bullpen is just lights out, man.
Oh, absolutely.
It's
to go along with that rotation.
Yeah.
I mean, you can't match that.
No.
It's flipped. So the bullpen we were talking about at the beginning of the year was the biggest weakness on the Rangers.
Yep.
Was the biggest weakness.
Yep.
And it proved to be that way. I mean, they started out awesome. They didn't give up a run for what?
Yeah, they started out fantastic. Yeah.
But then
they fell apart. Yeah.
Then they fell apart, and you could see where we were talking about.
Yeah.
There's weaknesses here. There's not, and Michael Tepid would say this. There's not a guy that's going to come in and say "fuck you" and throw 99 and blow you away.
Nope.
And
there wasn't, but now there is.
Now, different story.
And I'm not saying, like, and you guys know this, that they're now the best bullpen in the world or anything. And they're still going to blow saves and blow holds, you know, and blow leads and all that. But overall, I trust almost every guy coming out of that bullpen right now.
Yeah. Feel a whole lot better. Feel a whole lot better now, don't you, Tyler?
And I feel bad for guys like Joe Barlow, but they just didn't have it this year. Sorry, go ahead, Tyler.
No, I'm just listening to y'all. I totally agree. It's just, I mean, yeah, the bullpen you know, it's like me and Ben were talking about it last week. It's it's funny how all these fans are like, it's Bochy doesn't know what he's doing with the bullpen.
Oh, God.
I was like, oh, my gosh. I was like, these people are just a bunch of idiots.
Okay. He's won 3 World Series, 1 against us.
Yeah. Did you watch our Twitter or our podcast by any chance?
Yes. Yes, okay. I did.
Yeah. Here they are talking about having the talk with Bochy. I'm like, oh my gosh, I just can't do it no more.
Yeah, that was the one that won last time we did it, I think. But all right, speaking of that, let's move to that segment. I've got three really good ones. All 3 from today's game, and I think I'm biased. I think I already know which one is going to win, but I'll read all 3 of them to you. And there's a few I left out that were still pretty good, but they weren't this level. So here's the first guy complaining about a certain rookie on the team. He said, "Wow, Young didn't swing and miss at a pitch right over the plate. I'm shocked." Talking about Josh Young. You know, the guy that leads all rookies in home runs and leads all third basemen in home run, not just rookies.
Who cranked a home run yesterday?
Yeah. So that's a good one.
Okay. That one's good.
This one actually would be good except for one thing, and I'll explain it. It says, how about a few insurance runs from the best offense in the MLB? That sounds good, right?
Sounds good.
But he put quotation marks around best.
They do have the best offense in.
They do have the.
I mean, it's like, did you guys ever see that Friends episode where Joey was using the air quotes wrong?
Yeah.
That's what this guy did right here. He said from the best offense in the MLB. Like, dude, how can you say it like that? Like,
they're on a record pace, you dumbass.
Yeah. And this one, and I won't give away which one I think is going to win, but it's this one. Okay. So this one happened right after the first inning. Are you ready? DFA Max.
Oh gosh.
Oh.
that takes the cake.
That one's a winner.
That takes the cake.
That's a winner.
The other 2 are good, but you can't make this stuff up, man.
That's a winner.
Yeah.
Good God.
Wow.
Yeah. So congratulations. that one won. That's the best one. I mean, when I saw that, I was like, oh my gosh, he did not just tweet that.
Congratulations for winning the idiot comment.
Yep. Yeah. And Tyler, we had a guy earlier in the season who said DFA Marcus Semien.
Yeah. See, well, that's when we should have started this segment instead of now, because
I think a lot of these comments that come from fans or from these people, these idiots or whatever you want to call them, I think there are a lot of Astro fans that come over just to say this crap. To get a reaction from the Ranger fans. I don't know, but I don't see a Ranger fan, a true Ranger fan that knows that. Who would say that?
Yeah, I know exactly.
I mean,
yes,
come on.
You are exactly right. Who would say?
Well said.
And here's the deal, and I wasn't going to talk about this. I wasn't going to talk about this, but I just got to bring it up. Have you ever seen a more nervous fan base who gets into every single Rangers Twitter chat
than Astros?
Than the Astros. Nope. I mean, have you ever seen a more scared fan base than the Astros?
Dude, they're jumping in the Prospect Times.
They're jumping in Jared Sandler. They're jumping in like everybody. They're jumping in mine. They're jumping in everybody's, man. Like, they are so nervous about this.
Yeah, they are. They have a reason to be nervous too.
They do.
Like, I'll be honest with you, unless we're playing them, I'm not really thinking about the Astros, but apparently they think about the Rangers 24 hours a day.
Well, unfortunately for me, I'm actually watching the Astros game right now.
Actually, I was thinking about doing that tonight just because
I was thinking about popping it on. Yeah,
they're on Fox against the Yankees, so I was like,
yeah.
I mean, the 2 teams I hate more than anybody are playing against each other, and I was like, I can't believe I'm actually watching this garbage.
I'll just say I sent a tweet today that physically hurt me. And my tweet said, "Let's go Yankees."
Oh, that's what I was telling my wife.
Physically hurt me to send that tweet.
I was like, I think I'm going to watch the Astros and Yankees tonight. And she was like, oh, wonderful. The 2 teams that you hate the most. And I was like, yeah. And I was like, and unfortunately, I'm going to have to be cheering for the damn Yankees.
Yeah.
I was like
literally, I tweeted it. And I think
weird position to be in.
I think I shed a little tear when I tweeted it because I was so sad. But
Yankees got the lead right now, 3-2.
Okay,
so hopefully it holds on.
Good. Anyway, yeah, so we have a half game lead still, or a 1 game lead right now, depending on the outcome of this game. So it'll either be 1.5 or half after tonight. But the Astros, I mean, let's be honest, they are on fire right now. They are playing really good baseball.
They're playing very good.
They are.
And I kind of hope it's within 3 games when they come in September so that we can make it 6 games with them here.
I love it.
That series
is going to be absolutely insane.
That series to me is working out like the Rangers-Yankees series in 2010, where the Rangers swept the Yankees in September. Do you remember that, CJ?
Well, then they won like 9 straight, I think.
Yeah, but they
David
won,
Murphy. They won 9 straight.
They won 4 straight against the Yankees, and one of them was a walk-off hit by pitch. Jeff Francoeur got hit by Mariano Rivera.
Jeff Francoeur.
Man.
That's a name drop, man.
But this series coming up has going to have that feel. Like if the Rangers sweep them, even if the division is close, it's over for the Astros.
Oh, and Rangers fans pack that stadium.
They will.
And get loud.
I think all 3 of those games are sold out already. So,
and CJ, you better be ready because I'm swinging by to pick you up, and you're watching that series with me. Because we hadn't caught a ball game in a while, so it's about that time, and that's the series to do it.
You still got the Ranger Report hat, right?
I got it.
Yeah.
Okay, that's where we draw from. That's where we draw.
We got to send him some more gear. I got to send Tyler some more gear too. So.
Yeah, he needs some more. We got some new stuff, dude.
Yeah, send me some gear. Send me some shirts or anything.
I got to
large.
I got to. Okay, I'll ship some stuff out. I'll get your address and ship some stuff out to you. So
I appreciate it, Ben.
All right, guys. Anyway, this was fantastic. Congratulations to DFA Max that won our idiot comment of the week. The what the tweet. So anyway, good job again. Brought to you by Walton's, part of the Fans First Sports Network. And I didn't say this. I haven't said this in a couple weeks, but our numbers are like astronomically big, like crazy big. And even with CJ missing, they've been big. So CJ, watch out because I've been growing without you.
Thanks, I've been passing the word around to my family and friends and stuff, and they're passing the word out. So we're getting a lot more subscribers, I know, as well. And so if you see some of those comments, they're coming from my friends and buddies and stuff like that. So I'll keep on getting it out there more and more.
Tyler for filling in.
Yep, Tyler and Kane, both for filling in while you were out.
Yep, appreciate
it. They both did a fantastic job.
Yep,
I enjoy it.
Sucks.
And
if y'all want to have me every Thursday, I'd be more than happy to do it. I enjoy it.
You'll definitely be on more, Tyler. This is the last one, I promise.
And by the way, U.S. Air Force, baby.
Yes, sir. Just one more thing I want to say.
Service, brother.
Yes, sir. Little behind the scenes stuff is July is a bad month for podcasts overall. And we had a record high in July. So
it's
like July across the whole industry, everybody's down. And on Fans First Sports Network, they said that everybody was down except for us. We were the only podcast that was up.
Good.
Boom.
So thank you guys very much.
Why does CJ have the armadillo symbol behind his head?
It's him, man.
It's a possum.
That's his chemo possum.
That's my chemo possum.
Oh, I got you.
That's his chemo possum. Yeah,
John Moore.
Yeah.
Chemo. Okay.
Yeah. All right, guys. I think that'll wrap it up. Thank both of you for coming on tonight.
Thank you.
Thanks for listening to the Ranger Report podcast. Find us on Twitter, Facebook, and at therangerreport.com.